RPGs are loved for how deep their stories go and how they pull players right into the world. A solid story in a game like this can seriously stick with you, bringing in wild characters, tough choices, and worlds that feel alive. Whether you're into big fantasy adventures, crazy space stuff, or weird modern stories with ghosts and powers, this genre has got you covered. These are 10 RPGs that people always talk about when it comes to top tier storytelling. Every one of them nails the story so well, it's hard to forget. If you're looking for games that'll hit you in the feels and keep you thinking long after the credits roll, this list is where to start. Like the video and subscribe me for more game picks that actually matter. Not many RPGs hit as hard in the story department as The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It's based on a book series, but the game totally stands on its own. You play as a monster hunting badass stuck in the middle of a messy world full of war, politics, and tough choices that actually matter. What makes it different is how your decisions shape everything: who lives, who dies, and how people see you. Even the side quests go all in. Some of them are just as deep as the main story, like the Bloody Baron quest, which dives into heavy stuff like family, guilt, and second chances. The characters all feel real, like they've got their own pasts and problems, and the world feels like it keeps moving even when you're not around. It's not just playing a game, it's getting dropped into a full-on world that doesn't let go. Persona 5 Royal presents a refined combination of classic JRPG elements and life simulation, all set against the backdrop of modern-day Tokyo. The protagonist, a high school student leading a double life as a phantom thief, enters a supernatural realm called the Metaverse to confront and change corrupt individuals. The narrative delves into serious subjects such as abuse of authority, social inequality, and the search for personal identity, delivered with a distinct sense of style and emotional depth. What truly distinguishes the game is its ensemble cast. Every character possesses a compelling backstory that justifies their motivations, and their development over time adds significant emotional weight to the overall experience. The contrast between daily life, managing academics, building relationships, and the extraordinary task of confronting distorted desires creates a layered and immersive storytelling framework. Royal builds upon the original with substantial new content and a revised conclusion, adding even more impact to an already powerful story. Few games manage to blend style and substance so well, and this one pulls it off without giving a fuck. What Can Change the Nature of a Man sits at the center of Planescaping Torment, a cult classic RPG celebrated for its literary depth and philosophical weight. You begin as the Nameless One, an immortal with no memory, navigating the surreal and layered world of Sigil, the City of Doors, a place where logic bends and belief shapes reality. Unlike many RPGs that rely heavily on combat, Torment focuses on dialogue, choices, and character development. The companions are unforgettable, each bizarre, tragic, or sharp in their own way. You've got a sarcastic floating skull that never shuts up and a succubus who runs a brother for minds, not bodies. The game constantly pushes you to rethink what you know about identity, morality, and consequence. It doesn't hold your hand, it doesn't play nice, and it sure as hell doesn't care if you're uncomfortable. That's what makes it brilliant. Set in the strange and magical world of Spira, Final Fantasy X follows Tidus, a young athlete from a high-tech city who gets thrown into a place haunted by a massive creature called Sin. He ends up joining Yuna, a calm and determined summoner, on her mission to stop the destruction. What starts as a simple quest turns into a deeper story about love, loss, and breaking away from blind beliefs. The game hits hard because of its characters and how their stories slowly unfold during the journey. It tackles big ideas like destiny, dealing with death, and standing up against a system built on lies. The ending blends sadness with hope, and that mix is a big part of why this game sticks with so many people. Some moments still hit just as strong years later. BioWare's space opera really hits its stride in Mass Effect 2. You step into the boots of Commander Shepard, revived from the dead to put together a crew for a mission so dangerous it's basically a one-way trip. The galaxy's at risk, but the real power of the story comes from the people you bring along for the ride. Each squad mate has a loyalty mission that digs into their history and who they are underneath the armor. Some deal with broken families, others with guilt, revenge, or impossible choices. There's one story about a silent assassin who lives like a monk and still carries the weight of every kill. It's personal, raw, and full of that kind of quiet, emotional shit that sticks with you long after the credits roll. The final mission takes everything you've done and throws it back at you, letting your decisions shape who lives, who dies, and whether the whole thing blows up in your face. It's still one of the most unforgettable payoffs in RPGs. A groundbreaking RPG in its own right, Disco Elysium puts you in the shoes of a deeply troubled detective with no memory, trying to solve a murder in the decaying city of Revachol. But the real mystery lies within, uncovering your own beliefs, past, and role in a world falling apart. The game is written with a kind of literary genius, mixing existential despair, dark humor, and sharp political commentary. Instead of traditional combat, the game's mechanics revolve around your skills, which are voices in your head, each trying to sway your decisions and thoughts. This leads to a kind of internal dialogue that's both funny and unsettling. With countless ways to fail, succeed, or even reinvent yourself, Disco Elysium offers a unique, deeply human narrative that stays with you well after the game ends. BioWare's high fantasy epic presents a dark, morally complex tale of war, politics, and destiny. You play as a Grey Warden, one of the last members of an ancient order dedicated to fighting a blight of demonic creatures. What makes Origins stand out are its origin stories. Your background influences how the world sees you and how your journey progresses. The choices you make throughout the game carry significant consequences. Who you ally with, who you betray, and how you lead shape the future of Ferelden. Characters like Morrigan, Alistair, and Loghain are memorable not only for their personalities, but also for how deeply connected they are to the fate of the world. It's a mature, layered narrative that truly respects the player's ability to shape the story. Fallout New Vegas unfolds a story of survival, power, and conflicting ideologies. You start as a nameless courier, shot in the head and left for dead, only to rise as a key player in the battle for the future of New Vegas. What sets this game apart from many RPGs is that it doesn't force you down a good or bad path. You carve your own role in a world that reacts to every decision you make. The brilliance of New Vegas lies in its factions and moral complexity. You can choose to align with authoritarian leaders, rebel tribes, or go your own way. Figures like Mr. House, Caesar, and Yes Man each offer distinct philosophies with major consequences. This game doesn't just let you be a hero or villain. It makes you question what those labels even mean. It's fucking powerful. A timeless classic, Chrono Trigger starts as a fun-time traveling adventure and grows into a grand tale of destiny, destruction, and hope. Developed by an all-star team that includes talent from Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, the game follows Chrono and his friends as they travel through different time periods to stop the world from ending. Each era introduces its own culture, conflicts, and characters, all woven seamlessly into the main story. What really makes the narrative stand out is how your choices in one time period affect others, leading to a variety of possible endings. The game approaches emotional moments, like Robo's tragic future or Magus's redemption arc, with surprising depth and maturity, all while keeping a fast, engaging pace. Undertale may seem like a quirky retro RPG at first glance, but its story and its subversion of RPG norms make it one of the most emotionally impactful games ever created. You play as a human child who falls into an underground world filled with monsters, and the choices you make, especially regarding violence, determine how the story unfolds. What sets Undertale apart is its ability to make you truly feel the consequences of your decisions in a way few other games do. Deciding to spare or kill enemies completely alters the narrative, and the game even becomes self-aware of your past actions during subsequent playthroughs. It's a deeply heartfelt, hilarious, and philosophical experience, all wrapped in charming pixel art and accompanied by an unforgettable soundtrack. The beauty of RPGs lies in their ability to let us live countless lives, each with their own joys, tragedies, and hard-won truths. These 10 games aren't just entertaining, they're storytelling milestones that push the boundaries of what interactive fiction can achieve. Whether you're after emotional depth, intellectual challenge, or a good old fashioned adventure. These titles prove that video games can rival the best books and films when it comes to unforgettable stories.